We have already discussed about the relationship between total product of labor, average product of labor, and marginal product of labor. When we have discussed the total product of labor, we have seen that the total product initially increases at a increasing rate, and that increasing rate is getting reflected by the increasing marginal product curve. After that, the total product curve's curvature has changed. So from here the total product curve basically increased but at a decreasing rate, and we can see that the marginal product also has gone down. So after this point we call as the point of inflection. After this point the total product curve increased, but it has increased at a decreasing rate. And once we reached at this stage where we can see that the total product is maximum, that at that point the corresponding value of the marginal product is also 0. Why it is 0? Because there is no change in the total product. No change in the total product means the total product became saturated. So this is all about the total product and its relationship with the marginal product. Now when we incorporated the additional information of the average product of labor, we can see that initially the total product is increasing. Whether it is an increasing or a decreasing rate, initially the average product of labor is increasing, and the average product of labor reached at the maximum, and at the maximum value of the average product we can see that the marginal product of labor is equal to the average product of labor. So this is the point where we can see average product and marginal product of labor is same. Now after this point, all the time we can see that the value of the average product of labor is greater than the marginal product of labor. Now the question is, why it is happening that the marginal product of labor is greater than the average product of labor at the initial stage? This is because we have considered here the short run production function, and as I said, in the short run production function we consider only few variables as the variable and the other factors as the constant. Here the K or capital represents all the factors which are constant in the short run. Since the amount of the constant factor is limited or is fixed, then as initially we increase the variable factor, we can see that the marginal product of the factor, here it is L or labor, also increases very fast, and this increase in the marginal product actually pulling up the value of the average product or pulling up the value of the total product at a fast rate. That's why we can see that the marginal product is greater than the average product. If we continuously increase the variable input, we can see that the total product is increasing but at a decreasing rate. Why? Because on the fixed amount of factor we are continuously increasing the variable factor. So the productivity of the variable factor will decrease. In this case we can see that the marginal product of the labor is continuously going down, and it is also pulling down the average product of the labor. So if we conclude, then initially up to when the average product is less than the marginal product, or the marginal product is greater than the average product, up to this we consider it as the stage 1, and later when the marginal product of labor is less than the average product of labor, but marginal product of labor is positive. See, here you can see that marginal product of labor is 0. So before this point, definitely marginal product of labor is greater than 0. So this phase we call it as stage 2 of production. Stage 2. That means the marginal product, if we add one more unit of the variable input, definitely the output will go up. So this is the feature of the stage 2. Then if we continuously increase the variable input, that is the labor, then we reach to stage 3. At stage 3 we can see that both APL and MPL are decreasing. At the same time, the major characteristic of the stage 3 is that MPL is less than 0. Here we can also see the total product of labor is falling. So these are the 3 stages of production. These 3 stages are associated with the short run production function. And let us consider the boundaries. The boundary between the first stage and the second stage is the point where MPL equal to APL and APL is at the maximum. And what is the boundary between the stage 2 and stage 3? The boundary line is where the MPL is equal to 0. I hope you understood the concept of 3 stages of production. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you.